Look, I don't care if I'm the only one in the tech world that's excited about the Sony Xperia 1, but it's coming. Let's talk about it in this video. So finally, we get a release date for the Sony Xperia 1. Now, I've been using the Sony Xperia 10 since it's come out with the new 21:9 aspect ratio. And 21:9 aspect ratio phones are gonna be a part of the future, folks. We already have the Moto Vision 1 or whatever it is coming to the market. It's gonna be probably about 500 bucks or so, but the Sony Xperia 1 is indeed a flagship. Now, personally, I don't care what the industry thinks about this phone. I'm excited right now, and I still have like almost 2 months before I can even get it. You know what I'm saying? But the release date is July 12th, and it's going to start at $950. Now, I'm really hoping, I plan on buying from B&H, by the way. It's going to be available from B&H, Best Buy. Let me get back into the thing here. It's coming out on B&H, Best Buy, Amazon, B&H, Focus Camera, and other participating retail outlets. The Xperia 1 is both operational GSM networks and certified to work on Verizon's LTE network. It will retail for $949 starting on July 12th, and that comes directly from Sony, and so we are ready to bounce. I am super happy about this phone releasing. There's one thing that I don't like about the release of the phone, and it's the release date. The release date is like, they announced this thing like 5 months ago, and we have to wait until July in order to get it. Now, there was all the rumors and stuff on Amazon, you know, all these different places. I'm gonna order from B&H for one reason: no tax. That's one of my main reasons I'm ordering from B&H, because the tax on a $1,000 phone for me is pretty hefty, and I know B&H will be giving away something also. Now, another thing I want to do is apologize to all my current phones and the phones that I'll probably have in the future before July 12th. You will be sitting down. Even my beloved G8, as much as I love this phone, and you know, the OnePlus 7 Pro, all these phones, the Pixel 3a XL, this is the flagship that I've been waiting for. The 4K display takes this phone to another level. There are no 6.5-inch 4K display phones. So I'm gonna open up a browser here out of view that you can't see, and I'm gonna actually read you the specs of this phone, so you could get some understanding of what this 950 bucks is gonna get you. Some of you guys are already shaking a leg at the $950 price tag, and it's kind of like, whoa, Jay, that's not worth it. Folks, listen, if you're willing to spend all this other money on these other flagships that are currently out here, yeah. So I'm gonna pick this apart real quick. The first thing is it has a 6.5-inch display that comes in at 1644 by 3840. And the reason it has that, it's got that long 21:9 aspect ratio, that right there is boss move altogether. It has a 12 megapixel camera on the rear, three 12 megapixel cameras on the rear. The first one is 1.6, well, the main one is 1.6 aperture, so wide angle lens. Then it has a 2.4 telephoto lens aperture, and then it has a 12 megapixel ultra wide lens coming in also at 2.4 aperture. Now, it does record in 4K at 24 frames per second and 30 frames per second. And if you wonder why it doesn't have 60, well, this is a cinematic phone. It's for cinematic videos like the movie theaters. Your movie theaters that you watch, those are all 21:9. So this is gonna be perfect right here. What I'm waiting on is for YouTube to be able to see 21:9 aspect ratio videos. I know it's going to be possible because eventually they gave it to portrait video, and because that's the way some people shoot video. So this is a huge plus. It's IP65/IP68 for the waterproof rating. Gorilla Glass 6 with an aluminum frame. It's only 180 grams. Now, when you consider that, you might say, only, Jay? Well, some other phones that we have are much smaller than this, are well over 200 grams. Yeah, so it obviously has a Snapdragon 855. Now, this could be a problem, but I don't think so with Sony. I'm thinking I'm probably definitely going to get at least 5 to 6.5 hours screen on time, but the battery is 3330. And that's just what it is. It has, on that Gorilla Glass 6 display, you get HDR BT 2020, all the technical terms. Triluminous display, you know how Sony is with the displays. And it's funny because people say, you know, Samsung makes the best displays. I think I've said that in the past because I haven't seen enough from Sony to give them that title, but I'm thinking I'm getting ready to do it right now. Even the OnePlus 7 Pro with the 20 hertz refresh rate, I don't know. I mean, I don't know yet. X Reality engine is going to be nice. Again, the 7nm chip, 855 processor from Qualcomm. You have an SD card slot that holds up to 1 terabyte for that SD card, and the SD card, the 1 terabyte SD cards just got released in the month of May. They're $450. I'm not investing in anything like that, but yeah, no, it's not gonna happen. So there should be 2 versions, a 64 6 gig and a 128 gig 6 gig. So I'm more than certain that the 128 is gonna be a little bit higher, probably $9.99. But as long as it has an SD card slot, I'm totally fine with it. That's gonna be fine. The front camera is a wide angle lens at 8 megapixel with f2.0 aperture, and it records in 1080p at 30 frames per second. But the kicker about both of the cameras, front and there's 4 cameras. The kicker about these cameras is they have a 5-axis gyro EIS in them, both front and rear. Now remember, Sony was one of the ones who was one of the first to put stabilization on the front of the camera. Remember they did that on the one Sony phone, and they didn't have it on the rear? That was pretty strange, but hey, it happened. Now they got it on both. Dolby Atmos sound, 24-bit audio for the DAC, and it's got stereo speakers. This thing is loaded. Just reading the specs, I'm excited, and you should be too, because of all the money that you're spending on the current flagships. So obviously it's Type-C, Bluetooth 5.0, and again, that 3330 battery could be an issue for some people, but I don't think I'm gonna have an issue with it. It's got a side-mounted fingerprint reader, and it's got everything there that I will possibly want. An 18-watt fast charger. It's just gonna be, this is like, man. It comes in black, gray, purple, and white. Now, I don't know what colors are gonna be carried when it releases, but the purple and the white, yeah. It's got to be one of those. It's got to be the purple, or it's got to be the white, you know? And I'm thinking a lot of people might go for the purple, so if the white is available at launch to B&H, I'm probably going to rock with the white. Unless that gray is hot, you know, is available, you know what I'm saying, if I give it a second look or whatever. But this has got to be one of my most anticipated phones, folks. Everybody has a phone out there that they're really excited about, or, you know, you were really considering getting. Everybody has that phone. You guys know I've been talking about this phone all year because I want that 4K display. The resolution on that is 643 pixels per inch. So what does that mean? Let me just say, okay, the naked eye can only pick up about 300 or so. You might be right, but the sharp clarity of things can always be seen. So 4K displays don't even exist on cell phones until Sony. So 2K displays are absolutely awesome. So I know if an HDR video plays good, plays very well on a 1440p display, imagine what it's gonna do on this 3840. Man, this is gonna be crazy, son. I mean, is there anybody else excited about this phone? It seems like every time I bring it up, people bring up the price. But look, man, look at your current phones and what you buying. Okay, look, we all looking for a promo. We're all looking for something like that. But when you take all that out of the way, this is an affordable flagship. Check this. I'm not saying that the $950 price tag is something that I want to pay. Always remember that. But when you look at what it's going against, how is this not offering more? Just looking at the specs. I mean, come on now, think about this. What's different? You might say, well, Jay, it ain't really nothing that different. Every phone has 3 cameras now. Every phone, and some phones have bigger batteries. Well, we all know that Sony's software is pretty much stock, and it's definitely going to be optimized very well because their current phones get great battery. I'm always rocking with Sony software because it's pretty much stock Android, and I like the way they update their phones too. My X8 Ultra just got an update last week, along with the Sony Xperia 10. Sony is good with their updates for those that always ask. But one key feature about this phone that doesn't benefit me, but it benefits Verizon customers. This works on Verizon's network. So Verizon, you customers, you have an opportunity to get one of those, probably going to be one of the most anticipated phones ever. And it's probably going to shut down a lot of phones for displays. Now, it's going to be going against the OnePlus 7 Pro in display. But the 1.7 7 Pro isn't a 4K display. It's a 2K display. So as far as clarity and pumping out 4K videos, this phone can do it. No other cell phone can do it. That is what I'm looking for. And also, I'm excited about that long display, the 21:9 aspect ratio. I said it a long time ago, and several people might have said it too, but the 21:9 aspect ratio got laughed at. But Motorola's got on board. Sony is already on board. They're the first to do it. This is going to take off. It's going to take off. 4K will start to be the norm. Because when you think about it, you get pretty much got a high resolution TV in your hand. It's going to be good, man. My battery's about to die. I got to get out of here. It's your man Jay. Are you buying the Sony Xperia 1? I'm out.